Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. This here's Portie's Garage. On today's episode, I am back on the Macan. I have the ever-dreaded dash issue, as a lot of you may have with these Macans. They start as the sun bakes them and they get older, the glue releases, and then you got your dashboard getting all jacked up. So let me show you what we got here. Hopefully you can see this. I got a light on the inside there. So you can see right there, the dash is just coming away. And it's getting worse and worse, and you can see it's going back even over there in front of the clock. So I need to get that fixed. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna take that dash out. We're gonna take it over to an upholster, have them fix it up. Hopefully all they need to do is just re-glue it. If that's the case, a couple $100 and we're good to go. Worst case scenario, they have to recover it, and then yeah, we're talking hundreds. So without further ado, let's get into ripping out this dash so we can take it over to the upholstery. All right guys, before we get started, there's a couple things that we need to take care of. First and foremost, we need to get this wheel down as low and away as much as possible so that we can get the gauge cluster out. Second thing, I know from experience, if you watch my other videos on my upgrade for Apple CarPlay for the 2015, under 200 bucks, I think it was, we need to move the shifter here back. So this needs to move back so that I can get all this out. And then the last thing I got to do before I get started, after I get done with that, we're going to disconnect the battery so none of the airbags go off on us. So let's get this started right now. So looking at this here, you can kind of see this is our telescoping thing. We just push it down. It's going to bring it all the way to the bottom, and I'm going to pull it out as far as it'll go as well. Okay, I think I'm good right there. So low as it'll go. Then I'm going to turn the ignition on here real quick. Let's hopefully I don't blow this out here. I'm gonna, well, I guess I can't do it without the key in the car, so let me grab the key. Have the key, let's leave it in the car here so we don't have this issue again. Let's do that. Turn the radio down so we don't get blown out here. Come on, turn down. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put that back here like this. I'm also going to chalk the tires so that we don't have any issues there. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn the car off, and then we should be set. Okay, let's kick around to the back and we'll disconnect the battery. Okay, I did have to put the gear shift lever back up into park because it was not turning off the car. So I guess we'll just have to work our way around that. With that being said, we're in the back. In the trunk here, let's take out this cover here. Let's get us ready to take out this battery. Take this out. Then we're gonna have to take off, remove the spare here. Well, I'm gonna do that in a second. The other thing we need to do is take off these two bolts here for the subwoofer. This is the Bose subwoofer. You need to take this out, get it out of the way. So our battery is right here, and we got to get these two out of here. So let me put the camera down, get those two out, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, got the spare out and the subwoofer, just one little plug, two little things there. You can see that there, subwoofer, that out. So now we're in here to this, and what we need to do, you can see these two little plugs here, buttons there on that side, and then the same thing on this side. We lift her up and we're now with the battery. So 10 millimeter, this will get us set up here to take this off. I do have a scan tool here too, so if I do have issues with the what do you call it, the airbags and whatnot, I can do that. So there we go, we are disconnected. Whoa, shit. I'm gonna shove this down here. I'll get a paper towels or something to do that. I'm also going to go ahead and take off this this other side here. Why not get a set up here? I had this off before. Come on. There we go. So again, I'll just use the 10 millimeter on that, put a rag around these so we don't have any issues, and we should be all set. Okay guys, got the back all wrapped up, got the battery disconnected. By the way, the bolts for the subwoofer were T30 if you need that. Not all cars came with that, but in case you do have it, now you know. Now, oh, and I did wrap the cables, the negative and the positive, so they won't touch in there with a rag, so we're all good there. Now, let's look at what we're gonna do next. So, over here I've got the tools that I need. So, you know, you've got your plastic trim removal tools. We got a T25 here on the Milwaukee, and then we got another one here. A couple other pry tools and some more lights. And then, of course, our trusty printout of our workshop manual. So let's just do real quick what we're going to do here. So we're going to have to take out the all the different vents here, and I do have a tool that I made up for that. I'll show you that in a second. If you watched my video on the CarPlay for the Macan, I did show you how to do that, and I made my own tool on that, so I'll show you that again. But either way, we got to take out the vents so we can get the trim pieces out, get the stereo out. Coming over here, we got this lower trim piece here we've got to take out, vent here, steering wheel shroud, the gauge cluster here. We're also going to have to pry up the center piece here in these vents, as well as the radio grills. And I believe to get these off, because they do wedge underneath here, we may have to take this off as well. I believe there's a screw behind this airbag tag, and then the rest are just clips. Those should come off, and then we can get that out, The vent, the defroster vent, I don't see, you can see that right there. You can see that. We do need to take that out as well. Oh, in the glove box, we're gonna need to take that out. And that should be pretty much everything we need to take out. Hopefully it goes pretty solid. I'm gonna set you guys up on the tripod behind me with a view of all this, so as we go through it, you'll get some consistency of the views, and I'll try to talk through what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and give you guys some different viewpoints from there. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, before I get you guys set up on the tripod, I wanted to show you again, this is my tool that I made. So basically what this is you're going to take this, it's going to go in, it's going to hit the back part of these vents, and then you're going to give it a little yank like that. And as you can see, I'm going to do this without one hand, with both hands. But I've got that kind of broken out. Now I've got to do the other side. But if I try to yank this through without getting it clear of all the vents, I'm going to end up ripping those out. So I'm going to do that off camera. The other thing I need to do is take off these side pieces, both sides. Again, just a plastic spudger here to kind of get you going. Should be enough to get us there. There we go. And there we go. Okay, we've got that piece off. First piece off, yay! We do have a screw back here. One of the reasons why you have to take that off. So let me go ahead and get you guys back on the tripod there, and then we'll go ahead and take the rest of this out. Okay, again, got this vent broke free. Now let's get this one. Hopefully it goes just as easy. There we go, just a little pop. Much easier. All right, so now we have to disconnect these temperature sensors. And there is a little tiny button right there, and I'm gonna grab a little poker to do that. You just poke that little button, these will come right off. But now that we've got this, give us access to these bolts here. Go ahead and take off this vent as well. See if we can't do that real quick. There we go. Mine are probably a little bit easier to take off because I've done it once already, but it's really not that difficult. As you can see, this goes in through the vent, grabs this, and then you just give it a yank, and that's how they pull out. So let me go ahead and get again, a little poker tool. Hopefully you can see that right there. There's a little button, nice Audi symbol, VW Audi symbol, by the way. Poke that little button right there, and these just pop right off. So let me go grab that, and then we'll be right back. Okay, got all 3 vents out there, exposing a lot of these screws. So next, let's try to get the stereo out. There's 2 screws down here, holds the stereo in, and this bottom CD player, and then 2 more screws up here. These are T27s. Alright, now that we got those out, let's hopefully we can do this without this shifter in the way. So let's start with this bottom part here. Alright, lost a screw. And here she comes. This is why we needed this thing to move. Alright, well, let me do some gymnastics, and I'm probably going to be using a lot of swear words, so let me cut to that, and I'll come back to you when I got this out. Okay guys, as you can see, got the radio out, so didn't have to move this shifter. What I did do though, you can see this shifter has a little bit of movement here. I just had to hold it back, and then it slipped right up, so was not too difficult. You can see I have a lot of extra wiring in here that is not stock, and that's due to the CarPlay upgrade that I did on that. So another video on that, but I think we're kind of good here. I guess the next thing I'm going to try to do is this glove box over here, see if we can't get this side all taken care of, and then we'll switch over here to the driver's side. Okay. First, let's take off this trim piece around here that goes around the glove box here. There's 3 screws, 1, 2, and 3. And I have my handy dandy little bag here, screws in. So now they say this thing should just pop off. I think we got some screws on the bottom here. Let's close this up, get these screws down here. And 2 screws in here, there and there. Oh, there we go. That's why. So you've got a couple clips down here. Once you get this pulled, you got to pull this up here. That's out, and we've already got most of the screws out for this, which I think we've got 1, 2, 3 more. Oh, one on the side. Remember that? When I took off the side, we got the one on the side. There we go. So to recap, for the trim, there were 3 pieces, 3 screws. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. You pop this off, pop off here, and then pull up this way, out and away, so it disengages down here. For the glove box, once you have that off, you can then get the 3 screws here. There's 2 inside the glove box, and then there's 2 on the bottom of the glove box. So you have to get down there for. So now the next thing we have to tackle is we've got a couple plugs, and one of them's for the airbag, which sucks. So let me reposition the camera around here so you can see what I'm going through. Okay, here's the deal. This brown plug here, you have this one here. This is the other part of it. So you just kind of push both of these in simultaneously and then pop it out. It is not super easy, but not super difficult. Next, you have your airbag plug down here. So really the way to take that off, one, you got to pry this piece off here. It's just a rough fitting that goes in there, or a clamp type thing. And then you pull the orange piece in there. You're gonna have to pull that out a little bit, and then you can disconnect it. I'll be honest with you, I don't think for what I need to do here, I need to take this off. If I do have to do it later, I will, but I think I'm just gonna let sleeping dogs lie, if you will, and I'm gonna leave this in here on the floor out of my way, and that way I don't have to worry about messing with the airbag plug. So again, that's a real close-up shot of the airbag plug. So that's what I'm going to try to do. We'll see if it reaps returns for me later. Moving right along, I think I'm going to take this center piece out next, and the defroster vent. I did take off the A-pillar over here. Again, you just pop out the airbag tag here, and there's a screw behind there, and then it just pops off. Super easy. I'll show you guys on the driver's side. But let's go ahead and see if we can't get this out. From what I've read and understand, you pop out from the front here because there's clips in the back. We don't want to break those, so we pop this up and then pull out this way. Obviously, you have to unhook the clock. So let's see what we can do. That is another thing I recall. There is two little tabs that go right here. So you pop it up, it comes out of the hooks, or the clips, and then there's two hooks on either side. So you got to get a screwdriver or something to go in there and move those aside. All right, a little bit forward. We have our clock here. Let's see what we can do. There we go. So, as I said, there's clips around here and here. You pop those up, and you got to get a screwdriver in and move these out so that you can pop it. Be careful, they're plastic, they will break. And then you can see the clips here in the back. Looks like somebody may have been in here before, because these two clips are broke already. Not my doing, but either way, we got this out. Let's work on the dash here, or the defroster. All right, before I break something, let me check this out. There's something going on right here in the center around this sensor. I did get this out. This plug here, just you squeeze this together and you can unplug that, but I did break two clips right there. So I believe as this is sitting down, there's a clip that comes around like that. You're gonna have to push it over a little bit to pop it up. When I find out for sure, I will let you know. Kind of ticked about that one, but live and learn. Don't try to force it, folks. All right, let's go ahead and get this A-pillar off here, and then we can work on these speaker covers. Again, real easy. These just pop open. Be careful because they are kind of tethered on there, a little plastic tether. And then we'll get this in here. There we go. Keep your magnet handy. There we go. Got that out. So we should be able to just come underneath here. Yeah. Got to be somewhat careful here. It's Alcantara on this side. Caught up over here on the trim piece, and I'm a little nervous after breaking those clips. Don't want to break these, but you got it. There we go. Woo. That down there. Just wiggle it back and forth. It'll come up. So now that we got that out, let's work on these speakers. All right, got the driver's side speaker cover off. So you'll notice it does go underneath, or that A-pillar does go underneath right here. So I'll kind of show you that right there. See where my finger's at. And then this is just a rubber piece that goes around it. So let me just go ahead and pop off this passenger one, and I think we'll be set to start taking off the rest of the lower trim and around the steering wheel, get all that kind of buttoned up, and then we're really close. Real easy, just 4 little pops. This all comes out. Good to go. Let's go to the other side. Okay, now over here on the driver's side, wanted to tell you about this. So obviously you have to take off this side panel here, which showed you over there. There is another little trim piece that's just kind of wedged in here. Looks like it's one little clip there, came off really easy. We'll go ahead and take that one off as well. So now let's talk about screws that we have to take off. We've got one here, one up here. I believe there's another one right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 more at the bottom. And then let's kind of see where we're at from there. All right. And I think I said before, these are T27s. They're T25s, so I'll make a note. Do have a couple clips here on this little black trim piece that comes in here. And try to get these off. Just doesn't want to come. Those didn't break. Woo! There's always one. Woo! Those were a bear, but no breakage, so good to go. There's a couple clips right here, and I think there's a couple over here that I need to get loose, and then I think we're ready. One clip, man, right here. Whew, got it. Jeez, oh Pete. That one was a bear. Okay, let's see what we got to do here. Little plug right here. Some type of sensor. Now I got to do the ignition plugs as well here. Okay guys, sorry about that. The battery died as I was taking those plugs off, but let me show you what we got down here. All right, so coming in here, at the top here, there was 3 plugs. There's one here, and one here. Just press the little tabs in, and then you can get them off. So that's there. Down here you can see this is the bottom side. I can hold this up here a little bit. So this is the bottom side right here, and this is where your ODB2 is. The dead pedal actually has a little clip that goes in here, so you got to pull that back. What I did is I pulled the clip back and pushed this back to disengage it from right there. That was not easy, and I'm sure it's going to be fun putting it back together. And then the other side, pretty much right here, you got these 2 clips on the bottoms. So I just kind of pulled this. I use these to just kind of pull a little bit, so those disengaged, and then everything popped right out. So now we can see what we have here. Everything is kind of torn out. Got to get the gauge cluster out yet, so we'll do that next. and then everything else is pretty darn close. Here's the deal. So on the Macan Turbo, if you got the leather package, your 2 screws or 2 tabs that take off the airbag are usually side. You can see that little dentation right there. If I want to take that airbag off, I gotta puncture that leather on both sides to get that to come off. And then there's 2 little balls in here. Pop it, unhook it, and then you can take this steering wheel off. So that being said, I did pull this out all the way and dropped it as far as I could. I'm gonna go ahead and try to take this dash out without taking out the steering wheel. So fingers crossed on that one. All right, let's get this cluster out and then take out the 5 bolts that we are holding the dash in and get this puppy out. Okay guys, the reason why you have to take the steering wheel off is to get to these 2 screws. You got one right here and then one right here. And as you can see, with my steering wheel down and back as far as it will go, I can get to these. I'm gonna try this without, again, taking off the steering wheel. So let's give it a shot. We got one more trim piece to take off. This little one right up here, and then I think there's a couple more screws behind this. So let's see if we can't do this without breaking it. This always makes me so nervous. Well, fudge, boys. Gonna have to do a little research on this one. Finally got this little bugger off. So there are 2 clips here, right here, and they go right there and right there. And what I ended up doing, I was getting it down here, and maybe if you got it down enough, you could grab a hold it and pull. But what I ended up doing was weaseling some string behind this, and did one of these things and got it, and then just yanked on it so I could get that out. But I don't know, a little ingenuity, I don't know if you call it good or not, but it worked, so we got it off. So now we can get these last 2 screws. There's one right here, one right here. Let's take these out. All right, now we should be able to pull this out, right? Ooh, yeah. Oh, fumble. There are going to be some clips. There we go. Got it. Just a little push pin right there. If you can get to it. And there we go. We got this out. Good deal. So this is another one of those you push it. Looks like my light died. You push it up, and it kind of just, as that rolls back, it pulls out. So there we go. We have, I think, everything torn apart on this dash. So let me reposition, and we will take out these last few bolts and pull this dash out, hopefully without having to do the steering wheel. Okay guys, we are so close to getting this out. Couple things I need to button up. One, forgot to note that I did take the airbag connectors off down here. So again, you know, just like any typical airbag connector, you pop the orange back a little bit and then just pull down and it should be good. I need to take out the center speaker. I can't do anything with the 2 front speakers until I pull the dash away. But once we have this out, there's going to be 7 bolts. It says 5, but there's really 7. There's one right here by the vent going up here. There's another one right here going up by the vent. There's going to be 2 in the radio area. One, they're in this corner over here and this corner over here. We've got one in the center up here, and then we've got two right here on either side of the steering column. So with that, yeah, I think we are good. Let's go ahead and take out that center speaker. I already got one screw out. Then we'll take out the two sides, get the radio, the center here, and these two. And then you're supposed to pull it away a little bit. There's 3 tabs that hook up to the front. Pull it away a little bit and then lift up. And we should be good. Be interesting to see how much of this is in the way of the steering wheel. I'm really hoping I don't have to take the steering wheel off, because I don't want to have to puncture the leather there to take off the airbag. All right, let's go. Center speaker out. Now, before I take out that last one, because I need to get over on the other side, I'm going to take some pictures of all this, so I got it. Well, I have clearly missed something, because this baby ain't budging. Seems to be like tied up top here. So let me do a few things here and see what I'm missing. Okay, there were 3 more screws I had to get out. So on the driver's side, actually there was 5. I had to take out a screw here for this air duct that's under here, because there is a screw that goes up underneath there to come out. So I took that out. Figured there was one on that side as well. Took that out of the screw for the air duct there, and then there was another one there. I could just weasel in just enough on the side to get that, and then that was loose. And then I forgot a screw by the airbag. There was one. I'm leaving the airbag in, by the way, so I'm not unscrewing that altogether. Had I done that, I wouldn't have had to worry about this other screw, but there's another screw for the bracket for the airbag. Now this baby is loose, so I've got to try to somehow get these speaker wires unhooked, and then this up and out of the way. So let's do some dash wrestling. Just so you know, I pushed the speaker through, just had to unhook it and kind of turn a little bit. Could not get the clip off. Well, gonna have to make a decision. There's 2 clips for the wiring harness for the airbag. I either got to try to get those clips off, or I got to unscrew the airbag. One of the two. Let me take a few minutes on this, and then we'll be right back. Got all that taken care of over there. Got my wire disconnected. I think we're ready to go. Ooh. There's one more right over here. It's a wire that's tie wrapped, so I gotta pop that tie wrap. Think she's gonna come, boys? Oh yeah. Look at that. Got it, and it didn't have to take off the steering wheel. Sweet. Want to show you the dash as it is out. So here it is in all of its glory. Doesn't look too bad. Again, this is the part that came unglued. So It looks to me like there's enough there that they can just re-glue that. I hope that's definitely a possibility. We will see. So yeah, there we go. Dash out. Let's get her to the upholstery shop.